Hey, it's Lauren. So I was walking through Target and I was perusing the beauty aisles as I normally do at the end of my Target trips. And something struck me. There was the name of a brand that I haven't seen or thought about in a while now, and that is PYT Beauty. And I was shocked that this was in Target. So several years ago, when I first started blogging, beauty blogging, what have you, I actually worked with PYT a bit. Like I did some posts for them. I think we did a giveaway. Like they gifted me product. Like I had worked with them, and then like I kind of just, fell off because I kind of stepped away from the whole clean beauty thing, and I just hadn't used them in a while, and I hadn't bought anything from them. And so then I see them in Target and I'm like, wait, what? And not only did I see them in Target, but they completely rebranded. Like their packaging looks so different than it used to. And I was like, I'm kind of curious. Like I just kind of want to try like a whole bunch of things from them. So I'm doing a little bit of a haul today of all of these things that I bought from PYT at Target. So what I really wanted to know was, is this rebrand just for Target or is it overall for their whole image and look? It's not just a separate spinoff. They actually rebranded their entire brand. And the interesting thing is that they have a big focus on sustainability now, which I really love to see. So let's talk about it a little bit. They have the Hot Flush Blush. There are 3 shades of this. This is $20. And so I picked up the shade Headrush, which is like this kind of like peachy color, and it's got a little bit of like a gold shimmer to it, and you can actually see a little bit of that shimmer, so I wasn't sure if I was gonna love or hate this. So I'm gonna use a big fluffy brush and get up in here with this. So this is not a first impressions. I actually have worn these and because I really wanted to know, like, has anything changed? What has changed? They have some new products that I didn't really use before. So my first thoughts with this when I put it on is that the glittery shimmeriness is not as aggressive as I thought it would be, which I'm really happy about. I really like this blush. It's not insanely pigmented. And I was thinking about something, and sometimes you don't want stuff that's like so heavily pigmented that the second you put it on your skin, it's like gonna grab and be really over the top. You want some flexibility and some room, and I know everybody wants to talk about how pigmented something is because they really want to get bang for their buck, but I do think that there's a component with makeup where you want that pigment to show up, but you also want to have a level of buildability with it. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to just like swipe it on and be like, like blending forever. So I think that this formula is really nice. The color is really nice. It leans a little more kind of corally than pink. So I think that's just something to note. But I think it's a really pretty color, especially for summertime. I'm really on board with it. Very cute. And I don't feel like this faded at all. Now, let's talk about the sustainability component of this. So all of their components are created with recycled plastic. So this particular component is 15% recycled plastic. The other thing about this that I thought was actually really cool is that this is recyclable, which recycling makeup components, you may or may not know, is actually pretty difficult to do because sometimes they're just too small. They don't make it into the recycling. And we'll talk more about that in a minute too. But what you do for this is a very easy recycle. There's a little hole on the back here and you pop out the pan and the plastic component can go in the recycling bin. So I actually thought that was pretty great and kind of just a cool thing that they did. There's no metal screw here, so you don't have to worry about that. The whole thing is recyclable. So, and there's no mirror also, which mirrors are not recyclable. It's really hard to get that backing off, which makes the mirrors reflective. So you'll see a lot of more like sustainable, eco-friendly companies skipping mirrors now. So, make sure you look out for that. Overall, I really like this. I think it's really pretty. It's easy to work with. They only have 3 shades. Maybe they'll expand on that. You know, they are a smaller indie company. I was just really, I mean, shocked in general to see them in Target. I thought that was really cool. The other thing for recycling, these boxes, these are also recyclable, which I thought was interesting. I would love to see them kind of shift away from plastic. You know, anywhere you can, I would love to see more companies switch to things that are not plastic. Obviously, it is recyclable, but I still try to cut down on my plastic where I can. I know, I review a lot of stuff. It's hard to believe that, but I like to avoid plastic when I can. And I think that this could be something that's cardboard, but I think that they probably stuck with this so you can see the cute packaging underneath. Speaking of packaging, the rebrand, it actually has a very like Tower 28 feel with like the clear and the pops of color and, you know, feels familiar. The other thing is that their plastic that they're using is pre-degraded plastic, which I thought was kind of interesting. And apparently it even says it on the back of the boxes here. Pre-degradation improves recycling and lowers carbon footprint, which I thought was interesting. I like that they put that on the box though. It's like nice not having to like go look up a million things when they're doing something kind of unique. So next up we have the Glow Me Liquid Eyeshadow. And I just thought this was just like the prettiest color ever. I was like, what is that? It's called Rosy Nude. They have 3 shades of this and these retail for $18. So this particular plastic component is 22% recycled plastic. It's also recyclable, and the way that you do that would be to wash and recycle that plastic component. Usually this type of applicator, you're not going to be able to recycle. This has to go into the trash. But again, I think it's pretty cool that they're like giving you options on how to recycle. The other thing that I was going to mention earlier, when you have a smaller component like this, they say depending on your local recycling laws, that this might be too small to go in the regular recycling bin, and they say to put it in a plastic water bottle to recycle, which I also thought was really interesting. Or you can take it to somewhere that has either TerraCycle or Credo does, like, I think it's called like Packed Collective now. Anyway, so this, I'm going to swatch it on my hand first for you. This is like shockingly beautiful. Like the color of this is just, I put some on, like I swatched it on my hand in the car on the way home, and it was so reflective. I thought I was going to be blinded. So anyway, this wears really, really well. It reminds me, if I had to like pick a formula that it reminds me the most of, it reminds me a little bit of like the Sparkle Wash from Jones Road Beauty. It's like very, very glittery. And then as you start to work with it, it shears out a little bit. But I think these are absolutely beautiful. So let me show you. And they're buildable too. So like I put this on and I was able to build up some of the intensity. You could use your finger for this. I'm going to use a brush just because I feel like it. They blend out very, very easily though, and I think that this color in particular is just really beautiful. They also had more of like a gold color, and I can't remember what the other one was, but look at that color. It's so pretty, and it just, they're very, very soft and easy to work with. It doesn't really grab extremely hard. It's not like a super pigmented product, but I just loved the color of this so much. And just so you can see, I'm actually going to build this up a little bit more for you. There was some that kind of was on the neck of the bottle, so I just wiped that off. They actually have a bunch of, not a bunch, I think it was like three eyeshadow palettes. I used to use their eyeshadow palette, and it was really, really nice. They don't have that one anymore since they've rebranded. It looks like they've done completely new palettes, and they have a lot more shadows in them, it looks like. None of those were really calling out to me. I really kind of love one and done eyeshadows, and this color, I was just like, I have to try it. And I feel good with that decision. I really, really like this, and this is a color that I think is so easy to wear and something that I'll reach for a lot. It's just kind of like this like shimmery rose gold, and I just really love it. And it also doesn't crease on me, which is really nice too. So this next product I was very curious about because it is their mascara. It's the Swipe Right 12-Hour Mascara. So I really liked their old mascara. It was like a two-step primer and then mascara combo. But the only thing I really could say about it was I always wished that it was just one mascara. So that's what they have now. It's just one mascara in the tube. And this has like an hourglass shaped brush. And the formula looks and wears very similarly to the mascara that they used to have that I really, really liked. So this is made from 37% recycled plastic. This, however, is not recyclable, which is not surprising because that tends to be an issue with mascaras. I think they're just more difficult to clean out, and then you've got the wand, and that, I guess that's why I was also kind of surprised that you could recycle this so easily and not mascara tubes. But anyway, so let me show you. I was actually really, really happy with this. It gave me a lot of lift, gave me this really beautiful kind of fluttery effect with my lashes, and it wore really well. It didn't smudge all over me, which is my biggest issue. This is $18, by the way, and there are two shades. There was like a blue shade as well, and then I think this one was called like DM Me. So let's do this. I also have to say, I really like the size and shape of this brush. It really just hugs my eyelashes nicely, and it's not so big that I'm making like a huge mess of my eyelashes. But that's one coat. Like, it's just very soft and fluttery and pretty. So I've been very happy with this mascara. All right, so that's one coat on both of my eyes. And I'm gonna build this up a little more because I actually feel like this builds up very nicely. Like, I just feel like it maintains that really kind of feathery quality. I really, really like this mascara, and I think for the price point, I think it's really great. Super, super pretty, wears really well. All right, let's talk about their lip products, because the last time that I like tried their products or like worked with them, they had just launched some of their lip glosses, which look very different now, by the way. So I picked up two of their lip products, one of which is the Sorry Not Sorry lipstick in the shade, what was it, Popping Poppy. And then the other one was the So Extra Tinted Balm in HBIC. So I'm going to start with the Tinted Balm. And this is a really great shade. It's kind of like this, like, I don't know, it reminds me of like popsicles and like that kind of popsicle stained effect. It's a little bit like reddish undertone. I really, really like this. There are 3 shades of this. It is $16. It is 18% pre-recycled plastic. And much like some of the other products, you can wash this little component out and recycle it. The way that they have done this whole like recycling thing with their brand, I think is super interesting because like I said before, I don't really know that I've used a lot of makeup that they're like, yeah, just like, you know, wash it out and toss it in the recycling. It's like a very new foreign concept for me. So let's put this on. I really, really like this color, and I like how it coordinates with the cheek color a lot. It's balmy, but it's more of like a stiff balm. It's not going to be as like soft and almost like gloppy feeling as like the fresh balms. It definitely like maintains its form in the tube, and you get a ton of pigment payoff with this. Something about it almost reminds me of like a slightly balmier Gen G from Glossier, like their lipsticks, because it almost has that kind of like softly matte, somewhat sheer appearance. But I do think they're a little more balmy because I remember those being a little more on the dry side. But I do really like this. I think it's a great color for summer especially. Let me show you the Poppin' Poppy lipstick because it's bright. So this is Poppin' Poppy. So there are 4 shades of this. It is $16 and it's 18% pre-recycled plastic. Also recyclable, you just wash and toss is what they say. I do like also that they have instructions on how to do that on their website. So this color is very bright. I was having a hard time trying to figure out what things look like inside of Target because the lighting in there is terrible. It's really bright. It's interesting because it's bright, but it doesn't look quite so bright in person. My camera is picking it up as like quite a bit more bright than it actually is. It's still bright though. These are actually super comfortable though. They just feel very buttery and very lightweight. They don't feel thick at all. And they maintain a more like satin kind of finish. They're more pigmented than the balms though, also worth noting, but it doesn't look quite this bright in person. Bright, but not this bright. It's more bright than I want to be today. So I'm going to take this off and put the Tinted Balm back on and then we'll talk about it. All right, it's still bright, a little more toned down though, which kind of matches my overall look today a little better, I think. Okay, overall thoughts. Really surprised to see them in Target. I did not see that coming. I will say that they have always been kind of in that mid-range price point. So for Target, they're a little more expensive than like your Maybelline or your e.l.f. or something like that. It's a little more of like a high-end drugstore pricing. Love seeing that they've really branched into like recyclable, sustainable packaging. Some people are not going to like that it's plastic, but like I think that there's a lot of nuance and some really complicated things when it comes to recycling. And so I think we're going to see a lot more of this type of marketing and, you know, this initiative from companies. My review from Clover that I did recently, they do a very, very similar thing with using bioplastics and like fully recycled post-consumer plastics as well as being recyclable. So, I mean, I think with plastics, it's like it is more affordable and it's lighter weight, so it's easier on like shipping and stuff because there are still different resources and fuels and things that go into transporting products once they're actually created. Recycling and sustainability is very, very complicated, but I'm happy to see more companies are doing more on their part to make it easier on consumers. So like for me, being able to recycle this myself rather than having like a million components that I'm saving up to go drop off somewhere is really, really nice. The performance, it's there. It's definitely there. I love just when I'm in Target and like I can just go pop over and pick something up. I love ordering stuff too, don't get me wrong. And I'm really, really bougie and I love ordering luxury makeup online. Don't get me wrong. But I love having this kind of mid-price point available in Target. It's really just kind of a nice branch away from drugstore. And you get a better quality product and it's accessible with instant gratification. So like, I'm all for this, you know? I love this mascara. I keep looking at my eyelashes and I'm like, they look so pretty. Like they're just like fluttery and like defined and this doesn't move on me. So I'm really happy overall. I think it's a really exciting place for them to have branched into. And I think that we're going to see them grow a lot because of it. And so I'm looking forward to more shades, more products, because I'm sure that they're going to continue to kind of snowball and expand. So if this was helpful, if you enjoyed it, please make sure to give it a little like, little thumbs up, helps other people find my channel. And if you want to see more of this content, make sure you subscribe because I will have more reviews and tutorials for you. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.